Does the Honourable Lady, and further to the point that I made earlier, not recognise that the Trade and Agriculture Commission that was set up all those years ago because people were worried about what was going to be in the Australia Agreement, that is set up on a constitutional footing, that is a statutory footing, that is there to review all of our trade agreements, that includes people like Nick von Westenholz from the NFU, a number of other members from the agriculture community, that their report on CPTPP did not find that it was damaging to farmers across this country? And if that is to be believed, that report, would she not have done well to tell her constituent that this is not the case, rather than allowing that fear to run wild?
I thank you for those interesting points, but I'm concerned about the negative impact that this bill has on modern, innovative and sustainable agribusiness. I'm concerned about the worsening of the UK's environmental impact and fading net zero commitments that this government is shying away from. And I'm concerned about human rights implications that my constituents, as consumers, may be made to stomach. And I have many constituents working in the agri-food industry who feel they have been misled by this Tory administration. One farmer told me last week that this government says one thing with its many mouths and then does something completely different. Now, we ask our farmers to maintain high welfare and environmental standards, and rightly so, but some signatories, like Mexico, have almost none. Food security expert Professor Chris Elliott told me it's absolutely not a level playing field in any stretch of the imagination. Now, we Liberal Democrats agree with the NFU and the World Wildlife Fund that in demanding core production standards for agri-food imports, which would uphold the ban on hormone treatment for cattle and prevent the import of food containing any of the 119 pesticides banned in the UK, to name just 2 examples. Now, which surveys show that 84% of the country agrees with us? And I urge the government to adopt this. I will.
Sorry, just because I feel that this is a matter that should be hammered home, the opening summary of the Trade and Agriculture Commission report on CPTPP. Question 1. Does CPTPP require the UK to change its levels of statutory protection in relation to animal or plant or health, animal welfare and environmental protection? Answer from the Trade and Agriculture petition: no, CPTPP does not require the UK to change its levels of statutory protection in relation to animal or plant life or health, animal welfare or environmental protection. This is not going to damage them. She must go back to her constituents and reassure them, rather than allow this mistruth to run wild across the countryside.